What's his name?
Henry.
Henry the worm?
Was that Daddy? What? A duck.
A duck, yeah.
Look at precious little Kylie French. I'm sure you'll agree it's very sad that her parents fought over custody when they split up. But when an out-of-control judge gets involved in these already nasty cases, it goes from sad to another case of family injustice in a courtroom we've visited before.
Barbara Stalder needs to be removed. Reparations need to be made for the families. A public apology needs to be made. And this needs to never happen again.
It's no secret that Kyle French is now on a mission, getting Judge Barbara Stalder off the bench before she can ruin any more lives.
During the course of the last year, Judge Stalder has literally ruined my life and countless others.
We saw Kyle in Austin the other day. The once every 2-year chance for the public to talk directly to the Texas Judicial Conduct Commission. You get 3 minutes. It's a show required in state law, and it's a joke, not justice against renegade judges. I've heard horror stories, especially from family courts all over the state. There are judges who should have been removed a long time ago. Barbara Stalder is a classic example.
Judge Stalder needs to be removed immediately.
We now know that Kyle was the artist behind the sign we found one morning in front of our office after our first investigative report on Judge Stalder. A sign likening the 280th District Court to justice in North Korea. You can see what he thinks of the judge.
Dolcefino Consulting listens. You're a hometown hero.
10 incumbent judges in Harris County lost in Tuesday's Democratic primary election.
Voters listened to our warnings this spring. Accusations Judge Stalder would issue long protective orders without even hearing evidence of real family violence. The incumbent judge, she lost the primary, but she still got that robe on.
She has currently 10 weeks left on the bench, and that's approximately, by my calculations, 500 to 600 cases.
Never been arrested, never been convicted, never been charged, never seen the back of a cop car.
It was Kyle French using that bullhorn from his car as he drove past the NRA convention. French had to surrender his guns after Judge Stalder imposed a 5-year protective order for his ex-girlfriend, suspending him from even visiting with little Kylie for months.
Not allowed to own a firearm anymore, but I can have as many loudspeakers as I want.
He was about to get shared custody of Kylie in his custody fight going on in Liberty County. The judge there dismissing allegations of violence in the home. But his ex did what a lot of folks are doing. She moved to Harris County and her lawyers quickly went to see Judge Stalder.
She gives you your protective order in 15 minutes.
And what's really troubling, Judge Stalder doesn't seem to mind getting involved in a court case pending in another county without the benefit of seeing all the evidence that judge has seen. We've seen it too many times. This is a little 15-month-old boy being literally ripped from his father's arms. The supposed judicial watchdogs know it's happening. It has become a forum for people who want to shop for a protective order, who come to Houston for the reason to get a protective order from Barbara Stalder.
We do not love our corrupt judges. Judge Barbara Stalder. There's something strange going on in the 280th District Court.
Even the Judicial Conduct Commission has publicly reprimanded Judge Stalder. A lawyer was shackled to the jury box, and that gets you just a reprimand?
Honestly, she needs to be disbarred. She needs to be locked up for all the rights and families that she tore apart.
For 2 years, Kevin Frymuir has had supervised visits with his 9-year-old son, time he won't get back.
She basically violated my due process. We didn't get to be able to present no evidence and went straight to sentencing, and they forced it down my throat.
Kevin complained to the Judicial Conduct Commission, and they issued a private reprimand to the judge. That should end too. Voters have a right to know every punishment a judge gets.
Everything going on in her courtroom, I mean, it's scandalous and illegal. And it's not just me, it's a whole bunch of people.
Kyle French has refused some of Judge Stalder's orders, but his rights to see little Kylie were reinstated. They should never have been taken away. But will Judge Stalder now try to punish French for his signs, his social media protests? You know, all that First Amendment stuff. You think she's out for men?
I do. Yes, sir.
It didn't help when Kyle saw Judge Stalder holding a sign on social media saying the future is female. Imagine being a guy in that court.
Very sexually biased.
That's why Kyle French went to Austin, to speak to the people who could force Barbara Stalder off the bench after all these reprimands and haven't.
The judge, Barbara Stalder, has 10 weeks left on the bench, and we're going into the 4th year now, and nothing's being done about her removal.
Look, we all wanted a judge in that special court who would protect folks against family violence, a real thing.
But this particular bench, it's a specialty bench. It only hears cases involving family violence.
As an abuse victim herself, Stalder sounded like the right call, but she clearly wasn't. For 4 years, she has forgotten fairness and due process. As she spends her last days on the bench, the calls for Stalder's immediate removal are growing.
And really the government needs to look into her for all the rights that she's violated to all these families.